Hello and welcome to Thursday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, and a visually arresting puzzle today from Richard Stolk, the Sudoku Professor. Unusually, this puzzle is not from his Sudoku Variant series, which we've featured on the channel a few times before, but this is a puzzle he made for possible inclusion in the World Sudoku Championship back in Sofia in 2015. And as always in these competition environments, there are puzzles that don't get used in the championship for one reason or another, often on grounds of difficulty. And then those puzzles might be used in other championships or competitions online. But this one Richard viewed as simply too special not to share it with the public. So he published it on Logic Masters Germany about 5 years ago in order to get as wide a audience as possible for the puzzle. I mean, a puzzle that appears in the World Sudoku Championship, especially the latter stages of the World Sudoku Championship, might only be solved by sort of 5 people or even less than that. So you can well understand why Richard would want a puzzle that looks, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, how can you have a puzzle that only has these digits? Now, there is one extra rule here, which is a non-consecutive constraint, but even so, it seems a bit unlikely that this puzzle, that you can work out what goes in these top 3 boxes, but we shall give it a go. Now, Richard is one of the authors who is going to be appearing in our Kickstarter book, so if you do solve this puzzle and you love it, do let us know so we can think about including it in the book. I did a quick check-in just now on the campaign, which only launched 2 or 3 days ago, and we are already very, very close to reaching the stretch goal, which will allow us to put new puzzles from some of the world's best constructors into the book. Now, this is incredibly exciting, especially for me, because you know, these innovative puzzles that they create are the reasons for this channel. It's because I love solving them so much. So the thought that we might get a whole slew of extra puzzles from these great names is genuinely fantastic. So please do support it if you haven't already. And if it's possible we'll actually meet that goal by the time this video goes live tonight. And if we have, the next goal is also pretty exciting. It will mean that we include in the book a Harry Potter style Sudoku hunt. So our Harry Potter hunt was so popular a couple of months back, and we will be able to make a brand new hunt and put that into the book as well, which I know for some of you will be a big, well, something you'd look forward to. So yeah, I'll put a card on the screen. Where do I put the card? I have to put it here, there, just there. And of course there'll be a link under the video as well. Now, what are the rules for this one? Well, they are very simple. We have normal Sudoku rules apply, and we have horizontally and vertically adjacent cells cannot contain consecutive digits. That's it. So what does that mean? So that means, let's imagine this square is a 5. That would mean none of those squares could be a 4 or a 6, because they are orthogonally connected with the 5, and obviously 4 is consecutive with 5, and so is 6. So that's how the constraint works, and that's all we get in order to build up this puzzle up to the top. So do have a go. The way to play, as usual, is to click the link under the video, and with that, let's get cracking. And I have not, I mean, there's not really much we can do here, is there? I'm going to have a look at this row in the absence of many better ideas. This has got to be 1, 2, 3 and 9 into the open cells. So we can see we can't put 9 here, 3 here because of the 4. Now that one is completely unrestricted. And that one can't have 2 or 3 in it, look, because 2 is consecutive with the 3 and the 3 is in the box. Right, that's not exactly what I was hoping for, I've got to be honest. Alright, let's have a look at this row instead. We've got 2, 5, 7 and 8. Well, that one can't be 2 or 8 because it would be consecutive with 9. So that's got to be 5 or 7. Ah, okay, now look at this row. I've just noticed something. Where does 5 go in this row? It can't ever go next to a 4, so those cells are ruled out, and it can't go next to a 6. So 5 is a sort of hidden single in this row. It can only go in that position. Does that matter? Not sure. Let's carry on. We need 2, 7 and 8 now into the open cells. Now, can we get any more eliminations? Yes, we can eliminate 8 from there. 7 from, 7 and 2 from this square. Because of the non-consecutive, you can't put a 2 next to a 3. You can't put a 7 next to a 6. So this is 8. You can't, the 1 rules this out from being a 2. So this is a 7. This is a 2. Look at this. Look at the 7. And well, more importantly, I think this 6 is sort of all-powerful regarding box 8 because it rules out all 4 of those squares from being a 7. Well, and this 7 rules out that one. So there's only one place for a 7. It's got to go here. 7 can't go next to a 6 in box 9, look. So it can't go there. It must go here. Good grief. Okay, so we could actually make a start. And now we've got 5 digits in this row. So let's have a look at this one now. We need 1, 2, 6 and 8. So that one, oops, that one can't be 1. Sorry, it can't be 2 or 8, but it could be 1 or 6. Can't be 2 because it would be next to a 3. So 1, 2, 6 and 8. 1, 2 and 6 here because of the 8 in the box and the 9 above it. 1, 2 and 8 here. 1, 2 and 8 here. That one can't be 2 because of the 3. It's so easy to miss these constraints. That one can't be 6 because there's a 7 next to it. Right, okay, in fact, now look at this row. Where does 6 go in it? It can only go in this square. The 7 rules the 6 out from that one. The 6 rules the 6 out from that one. And that 6 rules it out from that one. So this is a 6. 6 must live at the bottom of box 9 and can't be next to a 5 and can't be in the same column as itself. So 6 goes there. So this box now, maybe, we need to put a 2 into it. 1, 2, 8 and 9. Well, that's really not very helpful. That one can't be 1. I can see that. I can't see much more, I have to say. Good grief. Okay, so what do we do now? We've got... Where does 5 go in this box, look? 5 can't go in those two, so it must go in one of those. Doesn't actually help us very much, but it's something. Oh, no. Yes, it does help us, because look, 4s must also be in one of those 3 positions. Now, you can't put 4 in the middle of those, because if you do, the 5 will definitely be connected on one side or the other. So in fact, this is a 4-5 pair in box 7. This must be a... this is the same point again, look. This has got to be a 1, 2 or a 3. Well, it can't be a 3, because then it will definitely be next to a 4. So it's not a 3. That means the only place for a 3 in this box now is here. So that's not a 3. The 3 can't be next to a 2, so it sorts that all out as well. So now, all of a sudden, we have a flurry of activity. That can't be a 1. Can we go any further with this? We've got quite a lot of this row done now. Look, we need... Yeah, we've got 5 digits. We need 2, 3, 8 and 9. So 2, 3, 8 and 9 into those squares. That can't be 8 because it would be next to a 7. That one can't be 2 because there's a 2 above it. Good grief, how do I not spot that? Look, that's a 2. That does tidy up a few pencil marks all of a sudden. This 2 can't be next to a 3. So where does 3 go in this row now? I don't believe it. It's got to go there. And the problem is there's so many opportunities to miss one of these little connections, and it totally will break you in terms of efficiency for the puzzle. Look, and although we've done really well at the bottom, how on earth do we get into the top of the grid? I guess what we can say is that there simply cannot be much to do up here, because the non-consecutive constraint is going to be so feeble when it comes to these top 3 boxes. At least with these 2 rows, well, especially this row, at least in this row, the non-consecutive constraint is immediately applying. So I think we have to focus attention here. Now, can we see anything clever? Oh, my door. Someone's at the door. 1 second. Right, sorry about that. It was a DHL man, maskless. Right, what we were looking at? We were looking at this row. And we were trying to spot whether any of the digits were restricted. 5 isn't bad, is it? Because 5 can't go in those 3, and it can't go next to 4, and it can't be in the same column as those, and it can't go here because it would be next to a 6. So 5 is in one of those 2 positions, which... that's almost good, but not quite good enough. 6 is maybe. 6 can't go there, and it can't go above a 7. Can't go here because of the 6. Can't go above a 5. Yeah, 6 is nice, isn't it? Can't go there. So 6 is in one of those 2. And that does it. That does it, because now this can't be a 5, because if we put 5 in here, where do we put the 6 in the row? We have to put it there, and these 2 are most certainly consecutive. So we get the 5 over there. So that's not 5 anymore. Is that all we get from that? No, it's not. It's not, because this 5 rules the roost over box 6 regarding 4. 4 can't go there either because of the column. So 4 goes here. Beautiful. And look at how that impacts on this box now. Where do we put the 4 in it? We can't put it next to a 3 or a 5. So it takes the position of a 6, which means that must be the 6. And where does 5 go now in this box? This 5 rules out those 2. You can't put one next to a 6. You can't put one next to a 4. So that's a 5. I'm still working on this. I've just noticed 8 is very restricted as well. Where does 8 go in this row? Can't go there, can't go next to a 7, and can't go here. So it's in one of those 2 positions. Now, is that useful? I don't know is the answer. 7 in this box can't go in either of those 2 squares, so 7 must be in one of those 2 positions. When I get these pairs, by the way, in non-consecutive, I immediately am thinking, how does this impact 6 and 8? Because in this case it's useless, because there's already a 6 and an 8 in the box. But once you get a 7 in a pair in a box like this, you know that you can't put a 6 or an 8 in either of these 2 cells. So 7's got to be in one of those cells. Well, okay. yeah, oh, this is good enough, because now we can do exactly that regarding 8. This can't be an 8, because if we make that an 8, this has to be a 7, which it can't be, because that's now consecutive. So once we lock the 7 into this domino, we can get rid of the 8 as a possibility. So this becomes an 8. Right, 6, 8 pairs now on box 4 are ruled out from all of those squares. So this is a 6, 8 pair, which means this can't be a 7, because if it was a 7 it would be next to a 6 or an 8. It's just ridiculous setting. It's ridiculous. These two squares are 1 and 2, and the one down here fixes the order. 1, 2. There's a 2, 7 pair over on this side of the grid, so those must be 3 and 9. And you can see that with this 4 here, we can actually determine the order. This 9 rules a 9 out from that cell. This 8 rule, yeah, let's do a bit of scanning. We can actually get a bit done in the bottom of the grid, look. 2, 8, 9, 1, 8. 4, 5. Yes, mustn't neglect Sudoku. That's got to be a 1 to complete this row. These two squares have got to be 3 and 9, and we can do that as well just by Sudoku using the 9 here. And we can use the 3 to determine which of these is correct. So this can't be a 2, so that's 7 and 2. And all of a sudden, we are now into the top of the grid. So let's have a look. We need 1, 2 and 5 in there, and that's immediately, well, partially resolvable. You can't put the 1 or the 2 in the middle of the column, because it will then be next to the 2. So this is a classic non-consecutive trick. So the only way of this working is if we use the 5 to keep the 1 and the 2 apart. So let's check these ones now. We need 4, 7 and 9. 4, 7, 9. That one can't be 4 because it would be next to a 5. Don't know. Can't see anything else there. So this must be 3, 6 and 8. And that one can't be 3 because it would be next to a 4. But I'm not actually seeing anything better than that. So let's look at this one. We need 3, 4 and 6 again. Again, 3 and 4 are consecutive with each other, so you can't put them in the middle of the 3. So the middle of the 3 must be the 6 playing gooseberry on the 3 and the 4. Some people asked what that phrase meant, playing gooseberry. It's obviously a Britishism. It means sort of an unwanted companion to make 3 when 2 people want to be alone with each other. Okay, this 2, 7 and 9 into those cells. That can't be 7 because of the 6. I'm still not figuring out how to do this though. I'm getting, you know, an occasional digit, but it's not falling over. 1, 5 and 8 into these, so that can't be 5. I keep expecting like this 3 to impact this one, and it keeps not doing it. Let's have a look at this column then and hope. 2, 5 and 9. Again, the 5 is having a little impact, but the 1 does impact this cell. 2, 9 pair in row 2. Thank goodness for that. So this is a 7. That fixes that this can't be 8. Look, so that's a 3. So in this row now, look, we've got effectively 6 digits that we've locked in. We just need 1, 4 and 8. This square can't be a 4, so that's also 1 or 8. So the only place 4 can go in the row is there. Now that also, though, is not very helpful. Okay, let's have a look at this column. We've got 6 digits again, so we need 6, 7 and 8. This one can't be 7 because it would be next to a 6 or an 8. That's clever, isn't it? Again, so the 7 goes up there. Unfortunately, the 7 doesn't impact this square. No, it's still resisting. 1, 3, 6 and 8 into those squares. So 1, 3, 6, 8. Now we can remove 6 and 8 from this square because of the 7. So this becomes a 1 or a 3. We can... No! Oh, we've got a 6, 8 pair there. So we can remove 6 and 8 from there as well. So now we get a 1, 3 pair in this column, which makes this one have to be an 8, that have to be a 1, and maybe that. Yeah, this is nice. So the 1 fixes that this now can't be a 2. 9, 7. The 2 fixes the 2 and the 1 over here. That fixes a 2 here. This 8 fixes the 6, the 8, the 6. The 6 and the 8 get resolved. Now we can't put 8 next to 9, so the 4 and the 9 get figured out. The 9 and the 5 get figured out. The 5 and the 8 get figured out. And there must be a 1. Yeah, 1, 3, 3 and 4. Check. That's how to solve just a beautiful, beautiful Sudoku. As ever from Richard. I mean, there is never a bad puzzle. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments. And yeah, it's just a brilliant, brilliant Sudoku. Thanks for watching. Back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.